Evening, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages. Welcome to this edition of the Halcyon Show. My name's Lauren Risley. Merry Christmas. How you doing? I'd literally spent all day fucking playing Cyberpunk, and I felt like I needed to do something of worth. Notwithstanding the fact that I wrapped presents and did little bit of Christmas shopping. It was necessary. I didn't want to do it until it was time to do so. TMR podcast, sir. TMR, how are we doing? Thank you for joining me. So yeah, I was sitting around, and do you know what? It was weird. I was flicking through my channel as I sometimes want to do, and I noticed that a couple of extra subs and people are still watching. So I would appear to have an audience that I neglect. So I want to make sure that I wrap up the year kind of properly as it relates to my channel, rather than just a random upload with a random interview. Although a good interview, I will stress. If you haven't seen my interview with Enigma, please go and watch it. So yeah, 2024 was a weird year. One I am really excited to consign to the history books as far as my personal life is concerned. I just want to be clear on that fact. But as far as the channel, man, channel was a weird one, because like I've had some fucking boon periods for the year, man. Like, I'm not being funny, but this might, notwithstanding the TIFO video, which was a big source of growth for me because of just how random it was and the influx of subscribers I got. The growth I've had this year from people just sort of sustainedly watching it has really helped. But then also I've had some really properly massive guests. And I wanted to just kind of flick through and give my thoughts, because I never really talk about the interviews themselves or some of the videos that I've done. I tend to kind of move on. I tend to just be like, what's the next one? What's the next one? What's the next one? And this year in particular, I wanted to just kind of go through the year, really. So yeah, I mean, if you go through my channel, the first video of the year isn't really one of note, because I was going through some really dark shit. And the first video of the year was fucking... I was singing. I sang Linkin Park, because I was just fucking down and didn't know what else to do. So I decided I'd sing to myself, which is kind of a weird thing, but never mind. So I've seen DW saying he can't join because he's wrapping presents. How dare you spend time with your family? By the way, I'm not expecting anyone to actually tune into this right now. I just wanted to record it because, like I say, I've got nothing going on for the next half an hour, and I thought I'd just wrap it up the year by just quickly boshing through. So if you see this afterwards, hi. It's lovely to see you. Merry Christmas. If anyone does tune in now, please leave a comment. I've set the latency to nice and low, so I won't take 10 minutes to see it. Anyways, back to the point. So as we go through, so yeah, we kick off the year with a really weird one, but then we open the year with interviews with Reverse and Gas Buff, two guys who I've gone on to become really quite good friends with. Reverse, Elliot Reverse, I would rate really highly as a battler, but as a person, man, whenever I've seen him in person, just the nicest, sweetest, most polite, intelligent young man. Although on the last one he was nursing a pretty significant hangover with what appeared to be more alcohol. That's certainly one way to navigate hangovers, just to continue powering on. God bless him for it as well. He was a lot of fun at what was the fucking event? Undisclosed 13. There it is. And then we move on to Gas Buff, and Gas Buff was great. Look at the year Gas Buff has had. And he started the year with an appearance on this pokey YouTube channel. Isn't that crazy? And he's gone on to some fantastic things. I would argue he beat Bobby Rex. So his stock couldn't be higher as we exit the year, and I'm excited to see what 2025 has in store for him. But then we move on to, without a doubt, the biggest interview of my career, Luke Thomas. Now, I know most of the people that watch this won't have any idea who Luke Thomas is, but let me just put this into perspective for you in terms of MMA, which is, I know everyone that has watched this knows what MMA is, because almost all of you have heard of Conor McGregor and you know what he does outside of the stuff that he's been tried for. In terms of MMA hierarchy, like in terms of journalists or pundits or names within the sphere, Luke Thomas is about as big as it gets, man. Like, I know Ariel Helwani is the person that people point to as like the MMA journalist of MMA journalists. I know there's bigger public figures within MMA. You've got Dana White, Bruce Buffer, you've got fucking every MMA fighter, you've got Brendan Schaub and all the rest of that sort of shit. However, Luke Thomas was one who I was dying to talk to him, man. Not only for being a fan of his, I used to watch his live streams religiously. I've kind of fallen off from doing that now, sadly. And I still catch them from time to time. I just don't make a point of watching it every single week. It was that and TIFO. His live stream in TIFO during COVID and afterwards up until about 2022, I used to watch them religiously. So you can imagine that getting the opportunity to talk to him was a fucking thrill of a lifetime. And just notwithstanding the fact that he's huge. Like, he's got hundreds of thousands of followers. He's got hundreds of thousands of subscribers. His net of influence is incredibly massive. But mainly because I hold him with such reverence and respect for his intellect and his fucking brutal honesty, that the fact that he'd set aside an hour, I was expecting to get maybe 10 minutes, maybe 15 minutes with him, a whole hour. And what broke my heart was the feed was fine until the last 2 minutes, and then it just and I didn't get to say goodbye to the man. Not that he's dying or I'm dying, but like, for the biggest interview of my career, I didn't get to jump off with him like I would have wanted to jump off with him. There you go. Sorry. I have had a few of these by this point, so sorry if I am a little bit slurred. I've been gaming all day. Get off my back. It's Christmas. But the fact is, like, even me, like, I should be thrilled. I stuck the landing on it. I got the interview, and it was a good interview, I thought. I gave him plenty of scope to talk. I hopefully touched on some good subjects and some stuff he doesn't normally talk about. Got to talk about him a little bit as well, which is nice. I don't get to see him talk about himself on other people's shows, mainly on his own. And then the fucking feed dies right at the end. So pissed off about that. But that led to Brian Campbell. And Brian Campbell is right there with him in terms of boxing coverage, in terms of his scope of influence. Like, I couldn't believe when I got the Brian Campbell interview as well. Like, that was absolute insanity to get them back to back. Like, it was surreal. It was like watching your TV talk back to you. It was the craziest thing. And Brian Campbell, I have an infinite amount of respect for, because when you look at his career, like, crazy experienced, and he's interviewed everybody who's everybody within boxing, and is now making his way into MMA in a similar vein. So those two back to back, by the way, that's like bucket list stuff. I just want people to understand that getting those two interviews was like thrills of lifetimes that I thought I was never going to top. And then we go into February. We have Red Wolf as well. Red Wolf was on the show, and he's a really nice guy. Really nice guy, actually. Really interesting fella to talk to. And just a genuinely cool cat. Excited to see what he has. I think he's got a battle lined up soon, and I think he had a music video that he wanted me to look at. I should really check my DMs and make sure he's not uploaded anything else in the meantime. I feel sorry, Red Wolf, my friend. I'm sorry if I've missed it, and I need to check it, and I will get around to it. I promise. And then after, we got a bunch of segments, and then we got Sean Cray. I don't think Sean Cray likes me anymore. I'm just going to go ahead and say it. I don't think he likes me anymore. I tried talking to him at an event. I shook his hand, and he just seemed very nervous. He seemed very nervous to talk to me. Like I see, not everyone these days, actually, now I think about it. A lot of people are kind of cool with me. It's weird. But anyways, I think him, and I think a few others, maybe Dojo. I don't know. There's people now that I know keep me out. Quill, actually, I'll call Quill out, that keep me a little bit at arm's length. They're like, this guy's fucking toxic, or anything to do with him. If he must exist in the sphere, he must, but I shall. And so you go, okay, all right. And this is the thing I'll say to that. Fine, I've earned it, because it was right around this time. If I go to my live, because I've got my content lists up. Let's go back through, shall we? Because I started doing live streams this year pretty seriously as well. So yeah, it was February. There it is. The Fuck It, Let's Talk About It show. My fucking magnum opus when it comes to battle rap. Yeah. It was just prior to that as well. I was supposed to have the Shotty Horror interview. It's worth referencing back to that one, because that show, I think about from time to time through the prism of, I wonder how I would approach it now, with the benefit of knowing how much damage it caused and how much of a stir it caused with people, and how it really, really got to people. Shotty Horror, when he saw me, you can tell this still lingers. And so I wonder, was it worth it? I don't know. I don't know the answer to that. It's definitely not a no, because it had some unintended benefits, which is weird to say, because I fully intended that to be the linchpin of the fucking situation, just blowing up in my face to a certain degree. But nevertheless, like, it's interesting to look back now that I was so mad that day. I was so mad that day. Man. There are people who, if I'd have been in the same room as that day, who I was arguing online, I'd have beaten the piss out of them. I'd have been really fucking mad that day. And so the only thing you can do is let it out. And so, like I say, I don't look back on that video with much... I don't think I look back on it with much pride. But I don't feel ashamed of it. That's the weird... It's a weird feeling. Like, I don't feel ashamed of it in the way that, like, I wish... Oh, sorry, sir, I wish it never happened. Like, nah, I think there's a lot in there that I needed to say. And that I think did some good. But in my typical way, I probably didn't phrase it in the best way. And so the points sometimes get lost in the fact that I'm saying it in such an aggressive and overtly over-the-top manner. But, like, February was kind of the turning point in terms of, like, then going to other things. Like, I remember starting to experiment with other bits and bobs. So it was after then that, like I say, I had the MMA stuff, which was great. Couldn't have timed that better, frankly, because then, again, you had sort of the sign-off of the battle rap stuff for a little while. So at that point, then you started to see me do more live streams, opining about things, giving my takes on depression and stress and managing stress and all the rest of it, which has really come into its own in the last couple of weeks, because I've been stressed out for days, son. Job situation has been stressful as fuck. But it was interesting then parlaying all of this sort of this setup and sort of the reps I'd gotten from the interviews I'd done into doing more diverse stuff, like different things, like learning how to live stream properly. Like, this whole setup now has been largely devised because of that period where I was like, do you know what? I really need to be able to hop on and talk whenever I need to or whenever I want to. And it would be great to be able to have the facility to be able to talk to guests live too. And so this idea that, like, that show in February, it did a lot of damage. Again, I can't say that there's definitely people who I wish I could have omitted from it in hindsight. But it is a thing of, we go, listen, rough with the smooth, man. Like, some of it needed to be said. And weirdly enough, like I say, if we go through, where is it? Okay, we have to go some way, but, like, it led to some stuff. So and then I remember piloting this with Peace Soldier and Dub T. Dub T and Peace Soldier are two guys who I've met through Battle Rap, who I've become really, really good friends with. Haven't spoken to them as much as I really should have done recently. I feel bad about that. Peace Soldier, for those who don't know Peace Soldier is one of the tightest human beings, like, in terms of, once he embraces you and invites you into his fold, he is a true blue, dyed-in-the-wool, fucking just a mate. Like, he's a fucking brother, man. He is a fucking lad and a gem of an individual. Couldn't speak more highly of Peace Soldier. Got to see him live this year as well. I drove down to, I think it was Leeds. I rode into Leeds, as Shuffle T said once. I think it was against Peace Soldier, actually. I'm quoting Shuffle T against Peace Soldier. And I just remember rocking up and being like, this is going to be so nerve-wracking. Never met Peace Soldier in my life, in real life, and he's so much bigger in person than you imagine. And he had a bunch of his mates there. like an entourage following him around. It was so fucking cool. And there he was. And the thing was, man, it was like seeing an old friend. Like, I remember sitting there with a really overpriced beer in my hand and just catching your eyes light up. And he went, bro, you came. I'm like, fuck, of course I'm here, man. Brilliant. And it was great, actually, towards the back end of the year meeting Dub T. Me and Dub will talk from time to time on the old FaceTime and all the rest of it, and we'll throw ideas around and put the words right. Saw him for the first time. Didn't get to spend as much time with him as I would have liked. With P was he was rocking, he was doing his thing. I managed to catch him after his first set, and then he started doing a tandem performance with another guy. I forget his name. And I decided to bounce because he was in his element, and the crowd was starting to pick up then. And yeah, I don't do crowds. So that was cool to kind of. We tried a wrestling podcast. It was one episode, and it's never happened since. We actually recorded a test pilot before that, so we've technically done 2. I really want to do another one, but at the moment, it's just time, and it's getting the opportunity to get them both on, which is a bit of a pain in the ass. And then we moved on to a guy called Blooms. So I decided to, cast back to my original roots of trying to get a hold of fellow YouTubers. And that video did actually really, really well comparative to my other stuff as well. I was really glad to get, especially after the battle rap sort of blowout, I wanted to really make a point because I felt like people thought I was doing that video for clout. And I wanted to say, do you know what? Fine, fuck you. I'm going to make sure that you understand that was because I wanted to fucking say it. And I don't give a shit if anyone heard me. Whereas these videos will show you doubtful motherfuckers, that when the chips are down, I'll prove you wrong. And I'll go away and I'll find even fucking bigger guests, son. And so you lead into Luke Thomas, Brian Campbell, and Blooms. 3 interviews which absolutely blew the fucking roof off in terms of my viewership. And then we segued slightly into Jesse Maria, a wrestling personality, UK independent wrestling personality, uber fan of wrestling, and a really, really top lass. We got talking about a bunch of other things as well, wrestling fandom and stuff. And that was cool because I'd always wanted to interview people in wrestling. And it's always tricky to get into an industry that naturally just you're hesitant to talk to people who you can't recommend. And of course, I had no in with anybody within the wrestling industry. Cronenborg was after that. Good friend of mine. Talked to him for years. Didn't get around to posting that interview until April. God bless him for bearing with me so long. It just took a while to edit it properly for some reason. I can't remember exactly what the problem was, but it just took forever. And then we maybe dip our toe back into the water a little bit, because then we had Kruger on. And again, my battle rap loving heart. If you'd have told me I would have had the opportunity to sit down with Kruger when I started watching battle rap, god damn, son. Like, spoiled. He's fucking one of the forefathers of UK battle rap, man. He's one of the people that's made this scene what it is. And here's me with my stupid ass asking him questions. And he gave a really great interview, man. I love it when guests take the reins and just run with interviews, man. Fucking love it. Absolutely adore it when you can just throw a question out there and a guest will just run with it. But then we lead into why I think that February show ultimately did more good than it did bad. Lunacy, man. I got the Lunacy interview this year. I got to sit down and interview Lunacy for an hour and a half. An hour and a half I got of his time, and this motherfucker doesn't do interviews with anybody. He didn't like anybody, period. He sure as fuck didn't like me in fucking February. And then I did that show, and I'll never forget because he reached out to me through Pete Soldier, and I'll never forget it because it showed me how my communication skills needed reviewing at times. Because one of the things I remember taking away from that was how he said, "Listen, man, I found more respect for you through that video by you saying what you said, even though." You threw shade at everybody. You know what I mean? You kind of just said it how it was. And earning his trust to get that interview was the turnaround for this channel for this year. The Luke Thomas one, the Brian Campbell one was huge. The Blooms one was big as well. But the Lunacy interview, that convinced me that I needed to have faith in my own voice and in my own passion and in my own vision for what I want to do. And I need to not be so worried about everyone within the scene of battle rap, for instance, telling me what I should and shouldn't do, what I should or shouldn't be. I I will share with you that, again, recently, again, some of these comments keep coming up about, oh, you're nothing. You know, who are you? You know, what do you have to say about battle rap that anyone else couldn't say? And it's like, I'll say it how I want to say it. I'll do it how I want to do it. And if you don't like it, that's fine. Just don't watch. Don't share. And I feel like that dynamic has worked. Because, again, I alluded to Sean Cray and a few other people. They're not sharing my stuff. They're not reposting my things. That's fine. That's not a problem. Because that's their freedom and right. And I feel like that's evolved my fandom and understanding of battle rap a little bit more. That I'm coexisting with it better. With the things I don't like, with the things that I do like, and the things I want to promote, rather than what I would have done, which is gotten really mad about it. Whereas now, I'm trying to just sort of let it go, like, yeah, okay, cool, all right, whatever, so long as we're all good. And so, like, that weird 5 month culmination between those, it was good in the end. And then you had Checkpoint. And a bunch of other interviews as well. We had Peace Soldier back to preview his album. That was great. Again, this was after Lunacy as well, so that back-to-back was really, really cool. Cammy was on. Raz Ren was on. Two guys who had some interactions prior, and it was good to get them on the show. And then we had Quill on. And so for the second time in a year, I managed to stick my finger up the nose of some people, not everyone, but some people in the battle rap community. And so, Quill's fault, no. My fault, yes. And it's funny because when he said what he was wanting to talk about, I had no idea that it was going to kind of become what it became. But then, again, funnily enough, that led to yet another interview. Like Paris, I probably wouldn't have ever spoken to in the same vein, had we not had that kind of another public fallout. And it's worth recapping that, man, because for a moment, I was what people in UK battle rap was talking about. And it was weird, because again, I think of myself as just one little tiny pokey person. And yet, fucking Prem did a podcast on me. I know that fucking Danny Jack and a few others were running Twitter Spaces on me, even though that they then retitled. You cheeky bastards. They retitled the Twitter Spaces afterwards to remove my name to kind of get rid of any clout that I might get from talking about it. And it's like, well, okay, but go back, listen to them. Like, I'm clearly the focal point of those. And it was weird because it felt like people were going after me for something I wasn't really doing. And so you go like, okay, what do I do now? And if I go to my live page, I'm sure that this will back it up. Let's cycle back for a second. Where are we? So yeah, this is after. So I previewed the fuck out of Checkpoint, by the way. I don't know if anyone, including Don't Flop, don't know if anyone worked harder to promote Checkpoint 5 than me. Lunacy obviously did 2 interviews, so I'm not saying he didn't, but I'm just saying that in terms of Don't Flop and in terms of people on the card, fuck me, dude. I worked harder than anybody to preview that fucking battle. And then I started doing live streams. And then, where is it? I swear, where is it? Where are you, you little bastards? There it is, right. So that was in July. Whispers, when is it time to quit? That was in August. Wow, so it was only 4 months ago. So yeah, man, like it was the quickest departure and return in terms of battle rap of all time, I grant you. But like that period away did teach me a lot in terms of how I want to interact with the scene and people in it and negotiate some of the aspects of it. Because I don't know if I did another interview for nearly 6 weeks. It was Big Wavy Roy Johnson who who I made the return for. Posted Kinnell just before I went on a bit of a hiatus. Kinnell was an interesting interview as well. So was Paris. It was great to have because I interviewed them, I think, back to back as well. And what was great about that was it enabled me to sort of touch base with regards to gaming, while also retaining sort of the battle rap element to it, but then talking to Paris about promotion and her music career. That was really, really cool. Again, 2 doors open that otherwise probably wouldn't have opened to me otherwise. So that was great. And then the other wrestling interview as well, big wavy Roy Johnson. I finally got to talk to someone who actually had a touch base with WWE, had led a very long, is leading a very long career in wrestling, but also just a really cool cat, really nice guy to talk to, just really nice man. Really nice man. I feel like I'd love to have a gaming session with him over a couple of pints and a bag of Doritos. You just get the impression you can chop it up with him, and he's just the nicest guy. And then it's kind of out of order here now, because then we enter into a phase towards the back end of the year where things get jumbled up, because I recorded a bunch of these interviews and then just couldn't do anything with them, because my remit with my interviews is I record them with the guest, but then I give them final veto over it. So I don't release it until the guest says we can release it. And before that, if you want to edit stuff or cut stuff or change stuff or just drop the whole interview, I let my guests do that, because I feel like it's important for them to be comfortable with what I'm releasing on them. Even though I know that they're sat there through the recording and, I understand that it's my footage and I can do what I want with it, I still believe it's really important to foster that trust with my guests. And even though, I'll touch on the battle rap thing again one more time, I know a lot of them weren't happy with me because of what I said publicly about the scene in general. None of them can criticize me for divulging stuff that was spoken about privately or that was, omitted from interviews. And I really feel like it's important to foster trust by actually backing it up. And so, again, the reason I'm referencing this, because this little chunk of interviews towards the back end of the year from middle of November to now is weird, because it's all out of order. They weren't recorded in this sequence, because it was Kingsley Thunder who we recorded, and we recorded that in, I think I might have even recorded it the same week of Big Wavy Roy Johnson. I'm almost certain it was towards the back end of October that I recorded that one, but through circumstance, it was just a case that neither one of us could get around to turning it around, and so it's like right at the back. Charlie, how are we doing? This will be interesting. I get to see how quickly, because I've got it on low latency, so I should see myself say, "Yo, Charlie." There we go. Okay, fair enough. I'm going to leave it. Anyways, Charlie, good to see you. But anyways, this is a weird sequence of events, and it's also weird because it was round about this time when I was talking to Kingsley that I was thinking about, right, maybe I should go to a Prem event. Just please, God. And this is what I was thinking, and this is a first, I've never revealed this. Please, God, let Trubs not be there, and let Shotty not be there, please. And the reason was because I was really hoping to go to a battle rap event for Prem and just enjoy the battles. I didn't really want to have to deal with anyone that I'd pissed off or was pissed off at me or I was pissed off at them. I just wanted to go to a battle rap and enjoy it. It's why it's probably going to be difficult to go to a Don't Flop event anytime soon, because I know that is not very happy with me, and I just don't want to deal with it. You know what I mean? I just don't want to deal with it. I just don't want to deal with it. So it's going to be difficult. But then, so we get there. Trubs wasn't there. Luckily, I think he was busy with the short circuit thing, and I don't think he was driving up to Manchester just for this. But Shotty was. And so it's shit, what do I do now? What do I do now? Do I hide? Do I just blend into the crowd? Hope he doesn't recognize me, which he probably wouldn't have done, to be honest. I don't think he clocked me in the crowd. It was only when the crowd fucked off again that you go, wait, no, you, like he recognized me. Do you know what I mean? And you're like, shit. Again, a largely productive conversation was had. I believe a net positive. Time will tell. Again, I let him speak his piece, and we'll see what happens. I do know that it's led to this weird fucking narrative, and Stro has not stopped since, of somehow I've got a battle. You've got rosters of people that you can pick from. No one needs to see me battle. No one. No one needs to see me at a pokey little event, pub or otherwise, lazily and fucking naively stumbling through a largely unimprovised spoken word slagging match. No one needs to see that shit. If I want to piss and moan, I'll do so on the comfort of my own home on this channel. But no one needs to see me battle. It just shouldn't happen. It would be the worst thing. And I'm speaking as someone that has taken a fucking buzzsaw to battle rap's fucking hierarchy and practices this year. All of that would be better. Everything I hate about battle rap would be better than me participating in it. No one needs to see me battle. Stro, you're a big brother to everyone in UK battle rap, and I include myself in that. This is the one time, apart from your fandom of Liverpool, this is your one time where you could not be more wrong about this being a good idea. No one needs to see it. It's a terrible idea. Bullshit idea. And yeah, we should just drop it. We really should. He's going to text me. So I will share with you. Charlie, you don't want to see it. Charlie, you don't want to see it. I don't know how to rap. This is okay. So I will share with you a bit behind the scenes. I messaged him back because I was like, well, look, let me ask you a question. He was like, no, bucket list sort of thing. Would you not at least want to try it? So I said, I tell you what. Let me ask you a question. How does one learn how to battle rap? How does one study it? How does one practice it? Because I've asked every battler on my show, how'd you learn to battle rap? Tell me about developing your style. And none of them can give me a straight answer. They just kind of, it was just kind of something I do. But there is a method. There is a way of doing it that then doesn't get you eye-rolled out of the fucking building. If I was ever going to attempt it, it wouldn't be a gimmicky, you learn from the streets, dog. Charlie. I am the nerdiest person in the world. Okay, except when I get mad. If I get mad, I sound like I'm from London all of a sudden. I don't know why my voice deepens and I develop a North London frame to all of my words. You learn from the street. Dude, there's 4 of you watching, okay? How many of you do you think could string together one round of a battle rap? Just one. So from 90 seconds, that's 30 seconds worth of, or are they 90-second rounds? I forget. It might be 90-second rounds. In which, just as I say about fucking 4 of you, 3 of you duck out, you cowards. But yeah, like, how does one formulate a battle rap? I know that part of it is you sleuth and you go like, you find out that he went to school at fucking some shitty ass school with a weird name that you can rhyme with, and you find out his favourite hat has got a hole in it, or you find out his dog died or something, you know what I mean? Like, I get that, but like, how do you go about formulating it? Because the thing with battle rap that it really struggles with sometimes, at least some of the participants do, is that it kind of formulates itself off this kind of that comedic element, that reactionary element. You can't practice that, not really. So the only time you know if it worked or not is live, baby. And so the fear that must be in battle rappers who go on stage and don't really know how it's going to go over. Man, like, there's a difference. If I do a live stream and it's a bad live stream and I bomb and I'm not funny or interesting or particularly insightful or entertaining or just start droning on, it's consigned to the pages of history and the mountains of content that you'll be sampling for this week. You're probably going to be forgetting this video when you're doom scrolling through Instagram later. When you're on stage and everyone's eyes are on you, like, I feel like they deserve to have their time rewarded rather than wasted. And I genuinely feel like I'd waste it. I feel like it would be absolutely atrocious. Nobody needs to see me battle. No one needs to see me battle. Speaking of which, we interviewed Rick Charles, and he's not a battler. He's a fucking photographer who battled largely because his mates thought it was funny. So I know that worked on him, lads. But no one needs to see me battle. I would also say if I if I woke up one day, they don't. It's a bad joke, Charlie. It's a terrible joke, and no one should find it funny, but they do. Dude, it's something I made up. The fact that I'm the only UK battle rap media member that's not participated in a single battle, right? I made that up. It probably isn't true. There's probably other media members that haven't either. Go bust their balls. I'm sure one of them has some lyrical flow that you can capitalize on, but me, no. Bars. But yeah, like, nobody needs to see that shit. But then you got Rick Charles, who got bantered into it, which is hilarious to me because he was so unbothered by the entire situation. And yet, largely through my prodding, TMR and me had a big hand in sort of generating this unnecessary amount of hype for him versus Mr. 9-2. It was kind of fun this year, even though it had its ups and downs. I really do feel like, for people that say I'm a nobody in the UK battle rap scene, I feel like I contributed a lot this year. I feel like I did a lot to inject a little bit into the culture, to cover the culture a little bit. I feel like I was the zeitgeist for a little bit, which is kind of weird because I don't think it was all that interesting what I had to say. You know, I was just really mad about it. I feel like the fact that that's kind of sticking in the craw of most people, and yet if you go through my archive, I think I've done 60 battle rap videos at this point. No one ever talks about that in terms of a contribution, but they will say, "Oh no, you're that weird moving guy. You move weird." Like, okay. The 60 plus videos I've done on battle rap, that's not enough to sell you? I don't even get me started on Undisclosed 13. I promoted that bitch more than fucking anyone too. So don't anyone, after 2024, say, Lorne, you are a nothing or a nobody in battle rap. Bitch, I have contributed some shit. I have contributed some motherfucking shit, and I am not going to hear otherwise. But then we had, I am off tangent completely. So then we had Harry J. Robertson, Rick Charles, Kingsley Thunder, 9-2, and Liam Spencer, all within the space of about a week, which was crazy. Like, I remember cranking all those out and being like, whoa, can't believe I did all those. And then we started off the year with Enigma. Big finish. Excellent finish, in my opinion. One of my favourite interviews. So raw, so honest, so zero fucks to give. Top guy as well. Arsenal fan. Good lad. And that was that, really. And so, yeah, kind of looking back at the year, it doesn't look like... I feel like I've had busier years. Like, I feel like when I was covering gaming, when I was an independent game reviewer, I was doing a review a week. So I'd have had weeks, months even. Oh, Charlie, what do I mean? It's an expression. When you move weird, it's like you can't be trusted with your intentions. Like you're somewhat duplicitous or a bit of a snake. Bit of a, you know what I mean? Like, I'm trying to find the words, because I don't really understand what it means either, by the way. When you say move weird, I feel like it's just that you're generally distrustful. Like, you can't be trusted. Which, okay. That, again, this is the other thing, man. I'm trying to learn how to accept people's opinions for what they are and just reject them. And just say, look, okay, that's your opinion. Cool. I disagree with you completely. Because I know me and you don't. I'll try to introduce you to me sometime. We'll do so over a drink. I've been staring at this for half an hour. Give me a moment. 4 of you are back. Right, now that you 4 of you are back, how would you write a battle rap? All 4 of you, 3 of you now, coward. How would you write a battle rap? Like I do move a little weird on Steam. As you can see, my graphics are a bit kooky and a bit glitchy. I got the idea from Cyberpunk. Cyberpunk had these kind of weird, glitchy, sort of frantic graphics, and I just always liked the amalgamation of technology, although the roughness of it, I just kind of like it. I really wanted to have that this bit here. I wanted it in like Japanese, like so and then Halcyon in Japanese. Couldn't find the word. Is it kanji? I forget what it's called, but there's a word for it. Anyways, back to the point. 3 of you watching. How would you write a battle rap? I want to know. Tell me. I'm going to have a sip of this. If you had to go on stage and write mean things about another human being for other people's entertainment, how would you go about doing it? It's not bad. I don't drink Jack all that often. I usually drink, not anymore anyway. I used to shoot it. Fucking hell, man. Back in the days when we used to shoot Jack Daniels, that was a messy period of life. Nevertheless, I usually go in for the honey Jack these days. It's a little smoother, or a nice cognac, or single malt whiskey, because it's just easier on the palate. This, I find, kicks you in the back of the throat. It's fire water. I always like that description of bourbon or whiskey is fire water. Charlie writes, copy an obscure unknown rapper for another country's underground scene. That way it can never get back to you. Dude, if there's one thing battle rap does better than anyone else, it's sleuth. Okay? Battle rappers will find the most obscure shit out about you because it's all they fucking live for when they're writing a battle rap. They will go to the fucking ends of the earth to find some aspect, some element of you that they can then shine a light on for all to see and make you feel like you're fucking 6 inches tall. Like, it's not a good strategy. I'm just going to level with you, man. It's not a good strategy. I'm just going to let you know that, like, especially me, like, this is the other reason why I don't necessarily want to open myself up to this kind of criticism for people's entertainment. I have done 650 videos, 670 videos, something like that. I have something like 30,000 tweets. There is a lot of ill-advised material out there on me, and it would not take a skilled battler more than, I'm going to say, half an hour to cobble together 3 90-second rounds absolutely fucking eviscerating me. And I don't even think they'd have to rhyme. I think they could just talk for 90 seconds. Quoting my obesity during my early stages of my YouTubing, my various failed relationships, my innumerable baby mamas, because that seems to be a thing that really tickles battle rappers when I tell them that fact about me. They're like, oh, player! And it's like, no, dude, it's a source of severe depression to me, but sure, I'll take the high five and cry about it later. I think the best thing for me to do in this situation was to say to Charlie, like, if you want to copy an unknown obscure rapper, you better know that that's a receipt that someone go and cash down the line. Because battle rap, don't forget, just, oh yeah, so I'm responsible for half the population of the UK, Charlie. I'm single-handedly the reason why there's, you know, a housing crisis. There's just so many of my illegitimate children running around. Millions at this point. Millions. I'm just an incredibly fertile man. It's a wonder that most things I come into contact don't become pregnant. There you go. There's your material for the next battle rap, gentlemen, if I ever do decide to partake. If Stro is ever successful in convincing me to appear on a fucking battle rap event, well played, Charlie. Well played. You fucker. The rest of you fuckers haven't answered my question. Oh, fucking hell. My screen is glitching like a bitch. Stop it. How would you write a battle rap? Come on, there's 4 of you now. How would you write a battle rap? Come on. Charlie's one of the 3 people watching. 2 of you are currently sat there, either with this in the background. There's 5 of you. 5 of you now. How would you write a battle rap? How would you write a battle rap? I want to know. For context, if you're just joining us, Stro has been messaging me saying, why not give it a shot? And I keep saying, you might as well fucking bottle Ebola and have it on stage and have it battle someone, because it would be just as popular and just as skillful as rhyming words as me. And yet, he's like, you should give it a try. So I'm throwing out the question to people, like, if you had to write a battle rap, if you had to slander someone in public on stage for money, how, obviously I wouldn't get paid because I'm shit, but how would you do it? How would you go about testing the waters there? How would you do it? There's 5 of you now. 5 of you watching this, how are you writing a battle rap? How are you doing it? And as I was just saying to Charlie, because Charlie seems to be the one in the comments kind of popping in, there's also the fact that I'd be opening myself up to an alarming amount of scrutiny, considering that there's thousands of hours of content on me. And there's 2 things to that. Number one, that opens me up to a lot of scrutiny, because there's going to be some shit in there that's just cringeworthy that people can take the piss out of. There's some bad takes in there that people can take the piss out of. But would I really subject some poor bastard to that level of research? That person would have to watch every video of mine in order to research me. That's not a bad idea, actually. That's another 670 views, potentially. Interesting. And 670 hours plus of watch hours. That would get me on my way to my 4,000 for next year. Interesting. Okay, well, that's food for thought. Battlers of the world. If you want to battle me, I have one criteria that you must admit. You have to watch every single one of my videos. And like every single one of my tweets to make sure I've seen that you've read them. You don't do those 2 things, I refuse to battle you. On point of principle. You clearly haven't done your research enough. Bottled Ebola is a great name for a punk band. Why don't you try that if you don't want to try rap? No, I was in a band once, dude. I was in a band. You'll never guess what the name was. It was terrible. It was in my angsty phase where Linkin Park were my god. It still are. Linkin Park are still my gods. The original iteration, not this one. But yeah, I was in a band for a bit. I played drums and I sang. I tried learning the guitar. Didn't work out so much. Drinking samples. Brenny's in the house. Brenny. Yes, because I'm not driving anywhere this evening, and I have my bed right here, so I can pass out when I'm done. But by the way, Brenny, I know you've got some, so go ahead, crack open that bottle, find yourself a glass, pour yourself a tipple, and have one on me, my friend. Charlie Adams back in there with disaffected Anglo youth. Nope. It's if you want to. Do you know what? You're not actually a million miles away from the angle I'm going with the name. There you go. David's in the house as well. David, congratulations on a sick performance the other day, my friend. I had you winning that battle. Congratulations on making your debut. Of the 2 of us, I'm glad at least one of us battled with a modicum of fucking pride and skill, because you'll never fucking see me do it. David did and stuck the landing. Congratulations, my friend. And Merry Christmas to you, David. But yeah, back to Charlie's point. No, the band I was in was called Harm's Way with a Z. Oh, God. Oh, do you know what? Oh, God. There you go. There's some extra material for you. Yes, it was called Harm's with a Z. I did add the apostrophe in, though. Harm's Way. And yeah, it seemed like a great idea at the time. It seemed like a, kind of a angsty, it in my head as well, it sounded aggressive because, oh, you want to get out of harm's way. Like, oh, here they come. You got to get out of their way. Like, fuck. I was 12 or 13. I was 12 or 13. I remember that it seemed great. It seemed like such a good fucking idea at the time. I designed the logo and everything, drew the fucking thing. But, God. Oh, that's amazing. Anywho. Oh, right. So yeah, my short-lived career as a rock band member was just about as good as my career as a battle rapper, because it ain't fucking happening, lads. It ain't happening. Sorry, ain't happening. Sorry, that's so funny. It's actually making me cry. Jesus Christ, that's so funny. It's such a teenagey name, isn't it? Hi, everybody, we're Harm's Way. Oh, fuck you, Brenny. Fuck you. That's why. Because I would never, ever reveal that to close personal friends who are going to rib me. Dude, y'all rib me about the semi-professional thing for a fucking... Okay, here's another quick story for everybody. It's all right, we'll just call this this is how you know Lorne's never battling, because I'm just going to give you all the material on me. Brenny will know this, because we went to school together. I once made up some horse shit that I was a semi-professional boxer to try and impress my friends at school one day in a proper in-betweeners fashion. Because of that, everyone, for about 3 years, whenever I said I was going to do something, they went, oh, like to semi-professional. And it just never stopped. It never stopped. It was always, oh, so you're going to go turn semi-pro then? Can you imagine? And I deserve that, by the way, because who's impressed by a semi-professional boxer that's never... By the way, who'd never had a fight and hadn't had proof of it? I didn't even own gloves. What? Fuck. No one was ever going to believe me because I didn't even fucking own gloves. Twat. 15-year-old me, if you ever watch this, if you time travel to the future and you see this, you're a fucking idiot. And I wish you'd stop making up shit and just be proud of yourself. Show yourself some love, okay? Stop making up shit to try and make other people like you. They'll always hate you. There's nothing you can do about it. But anyways. Oh, and Charlie's like, did you bleach your blonde hair? Yes. Yes. Yes, I did. Blonde hair. Twice. Once for a bet. Once because I thought it was cool. Charlie, no. This is the sort of stuff. These are angles that I'm giving to someone now. So it's like, so in school, you were semi-professional. Like, that's the angle now. I'm giving the angles away. So yes, and no one can use them because I'm saying... Well, yes, I'm never battling you. That's why I'm giving them to you. It's like giving you a fucking toy or a fucking movie I never plan to watch again. I don't care if you use it. I'm done with it. But to Brenny's point, yeah, I bleached my hair twice, bitch. Once because I wanted to look like Chester Bennington from Linkin Park. Again, angsty teen and he was my god. Second time, I was at a collections firm and I decided to bet another guy. He had a beard, no hair. I had hair, no beard. So I said, I'll tell you what, I'll bet you your beard. I'll beat you in collections this month. And he goes, well, what do I get? I said, I'll bleach blonde my hair. And he goes, what? So you look like fucking Bart Simpson? I said, absolutely. And I beat him till the last day. And he took a monster fucking collection and beat me on the last day. That fuck. Stuart, his name was. Never forget. Thick old beard he had. And I was like, do you know what? It's going to be so weird seeing him with that fucking beard. Just couldn't picture it. I just knew he'd look like such a little freak of a person. Last day. Motherfucker got me. And then, I bleached blonde my hair. That one was embarrassing that time. Because by that point, I realised... So stupid. So stupid. But no, Brenny, this is the thing. I know, by admitting this to a bunch of people, that it's just content for a video. You fuckers in school, you fuckers, you'd have beaten that bitch into the ground. There's no way we wouldn't have... There was no such thing in school as letting sleeping dogs lie. You beat shit into the fucking ground back in the day, and we all did it. I'm not saying I was any better. I'm trying to think now. What was some of the other stuff? Without naming names, I don't want to out anybody. This is about me, not anybody else. So, who else did we have? Oh, there were two, a guy and a girl, who we used to make fun of for being like in a secret relationship that they just didn't want to admit to each other. And then in the last day of the year, we fake married them. Now, that was a joke that ran for nearly 2 years, based entirely on the fact that they never sat next to each other. And somehow that in our heads meant that they were secretly madly in love with each other and just couldn't admit to it. And so we just beat that into the fucking... just until it was dead and buried, dude. Yeah. And here comes that guy from Harm's Way, semi-pro boxer Lorne. Yeah, see? But it's funny to me now because this is the thing, right? With battle rap, right? It's about taking a lot of this stuff and making it funny, but at the expense of the other person. You never get more points than when the person that you're saying it to is clearly embarrassed by it, right? I find a lot of this stuff from my past fucking hysterical now because it's so obviously stupid. Oh God, the band name is even worse. When you see it, see, this is why I couldn't tell it to my mates. My mates are always going to be way worse at roasting me for shit than any of you fuckers online are. Any of you fuckers online, I can at least broadly intimidate because I've got big scary eyes and I can raise my voice. If I tried to intimidate Brenny, he'd tap me on my little head and say, "It's adorable." And we'd crack on with our evening. And it's even funnier written down. Oh, you bitches ain't seen the logo. Fuck you. Harm's way when you want to be punk but also 2000s grime. Fuck you, Charlie. Merry Christmas, you motherfuckers. I like how this is supposed to be a review of my 2024 and it's become an examination of my creative output from when I was 14. Cheers, dickheads. Appreciate it. It's spelt correctly, by the way, Charlie. Harm's way like that. That's good. It's good. It's even worse when it's written down. That might be my favourite roast. That's my second favourite roast of the year. My favourite roast of the year is still that someone called me Tom Quebe. I thought that was one of the most amazing things I've ever heard said about me. Just, that is incredible. I cannot articulate how much I love the idea that someone sees me as some kind of Timu Tom Quee. I fucking love that. I think that's amazing. But that is a close second. Harm's way. It's even funnier. Sorry, it's even worse when it's written down. Like, premium. Absolutely fantastic. Love you to death, dude. Love that man like a brother as well. Likewise to you, dude. Merry Christmas. Give my best to the missus. And, yeah. Fuck you for joining me, bitch. Merry Christmas, dude. I'll catch up with you in the new year, I promise. This next time, we'll have a few of these instead of the Coronas. But, yeah. Wow, are we off topic. Oh, we got onto this with the battling shit, didn't we? But, yeah, like... Don't get me wrong, by the way. The other reason why I would probably consider battling as something that is just not worth my time is battle rap this year. One of the things I was trying to do with the coverage was try to elevate it. I really wanted to kind of start focusing on battle rap and battle rappers. Pardon me, how rude. Pardon me. It's hitting now, boys and girls. I wanted to put them on the pedestal that I believe that they deserve to be put on. You know, they put hundreds of hours into this shit. And for one payoff. You know, they don't really reap the rewards and benefits after that one live show and the fee that they receive. Maybe they get to monetize it in some small way after the fact and they've built a bit of a reputation off the back of it. But, you know, there's not really a way of them monetizing their catalogue of work. And I think that's unfair. Because stand-up comedians get to do that, musicians get to do that, other rappers get to do that, other live performers get to do that, stage performers get to do that. Battlers seem to be the one people, or the one group of people, that are kind of limited by their genre to one night only. When the material doesn't need to be. It doesn't need to be. Quill and I were discussing it, and we discussed the idea of touring. I know a lot of people are not crazy about that idea, but then again, like, I feel like an examination of the way that battle rap is monetized is due. And I'm glad that at the very least this year, through, even though I may have hijacked the conversation towards me, and that was really shitty of me, I have to be honest with you. Can you have my house? What? What did I say? What are you commenting on there, Charlie? Can I have your house? I don't have a house. Not anymore. I used to have a house. It was big. Had a pool table in it. And a gym. And a rear garage, actually. Don't have it anymore, though. What can you have? You can have this conker. There you go. You can have this conker. I don't own it. I'm sure it belongs to somebody else, but you may own it if you wish. So long as you don't tell anyone I gave it to you. School memories. I've just given you some school memories. I don't really have any of the school memories apart from, I mean, I don't know. I can't really think. School was weird, man. High school wasn't like it was for a lot of other people. For me, I loved high school. High school was great. Middle school was fucking brutal. But like, oh, school. Ah, gotcha. The Conquer reminded me. Nah, I didn't do Conkers in school. I don't remember much of what I did in middle school now, apart from the relentless bullying. Jesus Christ. That's what forged me in upper school, man. In middle school, bullied fucking mercilessly. Not only for the name, by the way, which of course is obvious. These bastard things used to get bullied mercilessly for these. Also, again, fun note, battle rap is weird to me because, like, it invites certain people into the realm that are just kind of mean-spirited, but directs their energies in a way that is largely productive. But it does remind me of being in middle school sometimes, because middle school was when people were genuinely cruel with their fucking words. Whereas in high school, or upper school, or secondary school, whatever you want to call it these days, I feel like it was more a temperance for adulthood rather than it was this proving ground. Middle school was more of a proving ground. Like, I got beat up, I got fucking bullied fucking mercilessly for shit. Very angry young man. But then kind of high school picked up and, you know, joined the gym. It was alright. And obviously, you know, by that point, MSN had popped up and I'd started making friends in the online sphere, so that was cool. And again, I kind of see battle rap as an extension of that period of time, because battle rap was cool because it allowed... Oh, dude, Charlie, it was fucking 30... No, not 30. It was 25 years ago at this point, dude. And look, I don't care who you are. Everyone gets a shitty time in school. I don't care who you are. Almost everyone has a shitty point in school. Everyone. Someone has something happen and everyone jumps on it. Just is what it is, man. I ain't going to complain about it too much, except for the fact that it was just fucking relentless, man. It was fucking relentless. It peaked at one point where I was like, genuinely, I don't want to go to school anymore. But, again, in hindsight, it's that kind of furnace that allows me to walk into a battle rap event where I know there's at least 4 or 5 people that would love to see me fuck up in real life and just kind of be like, yeah, whatever, dude, I don't care. It's fine. It's that laissez-faire attitude. It's more the pride thing I fall down for. I didn't have much pride in school, whereas now I probably have too much pride, and it does get hurt from time to time. Again, you learn as you grow. I'm 35 this year, so I still got some fucking learning to do. Anyways, I don't know how much more we should talk about, by the way. We've been going for an hour, so yes. She became his friend. That's a fucking movie, dude. It's a fucking movie. It's a movie. In which case, if this is a movie and y'all fuckers are watching me somehow like it's the Truman Show, when does it get good on my end? I'm waiting for the day where I wake up and it's like, oh, actually, no, life's pretty sweet. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm also going to say, right, there's been at least 3 people watching the stream. Charlie can't be the only one watching this, actually. Like, you other fuckers better comment at some point. It doesn't, not your arc. You motherfucker. I will say, listen, it might not be my arc, okay? But the arc of this year could have been a lot worse. I feel like with that first spat in February, YouTube could have gone down the drain. Didn't. Actually got stronger. I've done 2 battle rap events this year as well. Been to Manchester, been to Leeds, been to London, been to a few other places as well. So I got to expand my, you know, kind of my net of friends as well. Met some really cool people this year, and the channel grew. That's the only thing as I can say is like I cut loose twice this year on live streams. I had periods of inactivity, and yet my channel grew, and that's a testament to the people who watch. So, if nothing else, what I want to do by saying and wrapping up this live stream is cheers. I really appreciate you. People like Charlie, people like David, Hot Take Hylas as well. I'll probably give a shout out. TMR's been popping up on my streams, but like, just it's lovely that I'm making stuff that you guys feel comfortable interacting with, that you feel comfortable clicking on, spending some of your time watching. Yeah. And yes, I may... Charlie may be right. Maybe this is a peak, because next year I don't know how much I can commit to YouTube in the way that I would love to. I think back to those times as an independent game reviewer and thinking like, man, I'd love to do this for a living one day. And that was 6 years ago. 6 years ago. There you go. Hylas pops up right around the time I give him a big up, you cheeky bastard. Oh, okay, so you were listening along, just didn't, but you perked up, right? Motherfucker's got goddamn fucking agents everywhere. Like, if I get a shout out, or if anyone mentions me, you need to tap me on my shoulder so I can reply that moment. Hadn't mentioned you for the entire fucking live stream, Hylas, and you pipe up right around the time that I mention your name. I don't buy it. I don't buy it. What the fuck was I saying? Who cares? Doesn't matter. My point is, thank you to everyone who took a chance on one of my videos this year and ended up subscribing. Thank you to anyone that took a chance on one of my videos and shared or liked it. Thanks for sticking around. Thanks for bearing with me during my low points, and thanks for giving me inspiration and support. And yeah, man, like, I really do want to keep going next year, and I'll do my best to continue to try and find innovative ways of doing that. And we'll see. 2025, I hope, is an infinitely better year than 2024, because 2024, dude, on a personal note, fuck this year. Fuck this year right in the ear. I've lost 2 jobs, estranged from a lot of people in my life that I love, and just generally speaking, everything in life sucks. I'm overweight as well, by about 1.5 stone. I don't even have the physique thing to lean on at the moment. But here's to 2025 being a better year, and hopefully a year that we can then compound and build on. But thanks, Charlie. But yeah, man, let's have a better year in 2025. What do you say? And we'll start that year by me never ever battling. Okay. I don't have words on guests yet. I'll start looking for guests again in 2025 once we start proper. I know Ark said he'd be game about coming on. Niles was thinking about it, but then he blew his throat. he blew his voice box doing something. So I don't think he'll be on anytime soon. Does anyone know who runs Ur's burner account? Like, not the actual burner account for There's an account called Ur's burner account. Who operates or runs it? Because that person is still tapping me up to say, when are we going to do the interview? And while it's funny, I would like to avoid unnecessarily antagonizing people if I can possibly help it. And I feel like part of that is not mentioning them unless it's necessary for context. So if you could get the note to Ur's burner, that I would really appreciate them not referencing me in relation to unless is actually over whatever we have to be over in order to have a conversation. Stop it, little shit stirrer. Stop it. It's not helping anybody. Sure as hell ain't helping my blood pressure, because I'm trying to get along with everybody these days. I really am. Okay. Quill messages me now when he needs coverage on his fucking videos. I'm doing it to try and make amends. Okay. Tell him to stop. Whoever it is, tell him to fucking stop. What's that sound? Oh, it's my laptop. Fucking hell. It must be getting hot. Sorry, it was a massive whirring sound. What the fuck is that? Anyways. So yes, burner accounts aside, Battle Rap fans of the world, rest easy. I will be continuing to cover the scene next year with more interviews, hopefully more live streams. I'll hopefully go to an event at some point. I'm not fucking battling, so stop asking. It was a joke. Stop it. And then just generally more interviews as well. If you're just interested in the channel, hopefully we'll get onto that. I would love to come back to doing some more gaming content. It's just a question of figuring out how I can do that. I watch Angry Joe and old Total Biscuit videos, and I think, God damn, I'd still love to do that one day. Like, just have a green screen and review games and talk about cool shit like that. But alas, maybe another day. We'll see. But for anyone that joined me this evening, thank you very much. For any of you that have watched me this year, you have no idea what it means to me that you would stick around and support. If you subscribed, thank you fucking so much. Gets me that much. If I get to 1,000 subscribers, that is literally a lifetime ambition of mine achieved. I just want to let you know that, fucking Quill notwithstanding saying, oh, I'm never going to come on your channel unless you get 1,000 subs. 1,000 subs is literally a lifetime ambition for me. So any of you that help me get closer to that ambition, I just want to let you know that it means the world. It really does mean the world to me, so thank you so much. It's Christmas Eve, motherfuckers. So on that note, I think I'm going to wrap up. Go and spend some time with your families. Go and enjoy some well-earned R&R. Go and sit under the tree. Pour yourself something nice. Preferably something warm, if not something that's been brewed and dangerous and hazardous to your health. Pour the people that you love close to you. Savor these moments. Make some fucking memories while you can. But if, like me, you're astray tomorrow, I'm seeing my mum in the morning for a couple of hours, and then dropping off some presents, and then I'm back here to fucking stew in my own misery for a few hours. If, like me, you're astray tomorrow, just know that the day after is Boxing Day, and every cunt is going to be miserable. You fucking bastard, Quill. Quill, the fuck you turning up for at this again? Just in case you get a cheeky mention, like, fuck, again, how do you fuckers do that? Do you have spotters or some shit? How does Quill... I didn't mention Quill the entire fucking live stream. I mentioned him right at the fucking end and he pipes up with some maths. The fuck? Loved the promo, by the way, the other day. You should have seen my fucking face when I saw the promo. Well done to Quill. That was quite the promo. Still, the fuck did he know? Fuck did he was I know he sure as shit wasn't watching the whole fucking episode. Unsubscribe, but the number didn't change. Fuck you, Charlie. Dickhead. Anyways, yeah, like as I was saying, man, it's Christmas. So pull your family close, love them, share some fucking memories, enjoy it. And if, like me, you're by yourself tomorrow, know that Boxing Day is another day. Everyone's going to be miserable anyway, so fuck them. Fuck their happiness, or the rest of that sort of shit. Yeah, this is what I'm saying, Charlie. You can't just steal someone else's fucking material. Battle Rap's fucking agents are everywhere. They'll find out, okay? If I mention Shotty Horror right now, he might turn up in the comments. Ah, well, never mind. It was worth a shot. Anyways. That's probably not going to get me in trouble. Anyways, now that you've heard all about my middle school escapades and my failed career as a fucking rock band member... Charlie's definitely not going to beat that one into the ground and mention it every single live stream from now on. You fuck. I know that's what you're going to do, by the way. Yeah. Anyways, it's even worse written down. That's the funniest fucking thing. That's great. That's fucking hysterical. But listen, man. Have a great Christmas. Yeah, sure it is, Charlie. Have a great Christmas. Stay safe. And if I don't talk to you again, because this is probably the last live stream / interview for the... now you're fine. I'm probably not going to talk to you till the new year. So stay safe. Have a good Christmas. Have a great new year. See you in 2025. Thank you for everything so far. And who knows? Maybe next year, we get to 1,000 subs. It could happen. It could happen. We'll see. But before then, like, share, and subscribe. Blah, 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 blah. But take care of yourselves. And Merry Christmas, motherfuckers. Stay out of harm's way. You fucking bastard, Charlie. I'll see you guys on the next episode of the Halcyon Show.